Ashley. I'll be talking to you guys about the Highway 112 corridor study today. I don't know if many of you guys actually drive on Highway 112, but it's not great. There's no shoulders on hardly any part of the roads, a lot of sharp corners, leads to a lot of crashes, very dangerous, no good for anybody. So anyway, overview here, we got existing and future conditions. That's what we looked at: traffic, safety, level of service, environmental constraints that can get in the way of doing the project. Potential solutions could be either widening the existing road and doing some realignment, possibly doing one bypass or another bypass that involves Highway 264 going through Cave Springs there. So our study location right there is going all the way from basically the intersection of I-49 there on Garland at 112, a little bit south of that, all the way up to, there's 12 segments. It'll be all the way up through Cave Springs and Elm Springs to right there where it connects to Highway 12 there in Bentonville. I don't know if many of you guys probably don't know that area. I'm from Bentonville, so you know I like the Tigers, I like 112, I like Highway 12. So, anyways, we got traffic volumes. A lot of boring numbers. Probably, you know, average daily traffic based off of Highway or Interstate 49 there and Highway 112. The top numbers here would be 2014 average daily traffic, and the bottom numbers are an estimate of 2035. And then there in parentheses, we've got the truck traffic, which not as high as Interstate 49, but in comparison with not having as many lanes, it's still pretty high for that type of road. So more traffic volumes there going up there to Bentonville. And so this is what our level of service was going to be right now, or well, in 2014 with, and then 2035 with no build. So obviously you see not very good, a lot of F's, a lot of D's, a lot of E's. We don't want that. We want B's and A's, right? We all want A's, but we'll settle for B's and C's. Let's be realistic. So anyways, we got crashes, a lot of crashes. I kind of pointed that earlier. Most of those happen right down there in the intersection there with 49. Most of them are property crashes. Not a lot of fatal crashes. There are several, you know, couple here and there, and then some also car-on-car crashes that are in there as well around the areas with the dangerous curves that I mentioned earlier. Crash data, not as much as you get up to Bentonville. I guess, you know, Cave Springs and Bentonville people drive a little bit better than those college kids down here in Fayetteville. What are you gonna do? More crash data here. I'll let you guys take a second to soak that in. There's a lot of good numbers there. Regular crash, oh, actually here, I'll go back. Regular crash rate, the KA crash rate would be fatal crashes. Obviously those are pretty high per million vehicle miles. Ideally they'd be zero. Probably never gonna happen, but one can dream. So some potential options here. This would be to realign the road and do some widening. So there's a couple of very sharp curves, 25-mile-an-hour advisory speeds that you would need to potentially or hopefully straighten out, because less curves, there'll be less chances of a wreck. Now this is going up towards Cave Springs in this area here. There's 264. One would be completely going around Cave Springs with no 264 extension. That'd be right there. It would actually cut across 264 and go all the way around Cave Springs. Another one would be to extend the 264 to cut through Cave Springs a little bit more and then end up going around it. And then the final option there being to widen it and do some realignment there. Obviously, it'd be pretty hard to do widening in Cave Springs. If anybody's driven through there, there's not a lot of room on either side, not a lot of right of way to take to be able to get some extra lanes in there. But it's there, it's an option. So this is going up here into Bentonville. You guys can see there, we've got another bypass. Pretty dangerous curve, as you can see right there. Try to straighten that out. There's also another one a little bit up the road. And then this right there is very dangerous. Super elevated on both sides of the curve there. So really doing the realignment option and widening probably wouldn't be the best idea there. Choosing one of these bypasses, if able, would probably be the best solution for that. And that's just a little bit closer look there of splitting up the bypasses there at Cave Springs and Bentonville. So this is what we would potentially have with alternate one, which would be doing the widening and realignment options. As you can see, we got B's, we got several A's, so we pulled it off. B's, and then going to 2035 is not nearly as bad. There's no F's, only one D. I think we could all take one D, that'll be all right if we can get away with one. So this would be just a couple real short ones with, or more condensed, not broken up into the other segments like option A would be with widening on doing the bypasses. So this would be both the bypasses, obviously one with the extension right there for 264, and any would be not using the extension. As you can see, we get B's and C's. That's good, A's too. So some environmental constraints that get in the way of the project. Obviously, the reason 49's got a crook in it is because the blind cave fish, or whatever you want to call them there. There's also some cemeteries, you got churches, creeks, environmental areas, other species that might be endangered. Just no good. I know you probably can't see that too well on there, but a lot of stuff that could potentially get in the way there. So some costs, projected costs. Obviously, the job was split up into 12 segments there, with one being south of 49 there in Fayetteville, and segment 12 being up there in Highway 12 in Bentonville. Pretty expensive just for construction alone, and not only the total cost there, which would include having to deal with the environmental constraints and other things of that nature. So it probably not likely to get all these segments done, and maybe a couple with the smaller. Obviously, option A there would be the cheapest solution versus doing the bypass. A lot cheaper to just build onto the existing road than building a new road. And so we got some conclusions here. Highway 112 is not going to be acceptable there by 2035 for level of service. Widening and the best choice would probably be a mixture of the alternatives. Doing the widening down there in Fayetteville, and then once you get up to Cave Springs, possibly doing a bypass there, and smoothing out the curvature, obviously wherever we can, would be a big deal to help prevent crashes. Now they are actually starting on doing shoulder work on Highway 112, since most of these options probably aren't going to be done just because budgets and things of that nature. So it is going to get some little bit of help with the shoulders to help prevent crashes, but other than that, probably not really good enough. So anyways, any questions?